Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Encased. Before we head to the council meeting, let's look into the Junktown elections and talk to the two candidates, Bethany and Kurt.
Glad to meet you.
Right, new quest edit. And she offers us a drink on the house. Take a sip, ask why she's being so generous, or refuse. What's the meaning of this? Just a sign of my appreciation, but actually I was thinking. I've always said this place was a dump, but not anymore. The emulator is doing great and things in Junktown are improving. People are beginning to say Junktown needs a mayor, and I was thinking I should take part in the election. Care to join my team? You can be my authorized representative. Together we win, sure as hell. Do you know who my rival is? Spengler? I bet that bug is goofing off somewhere now. By the way, I've already prepared a program and a couple of slogans. What do you say? We don't mind becoming her consigliere. Well, tell us more about the agenda. Full freedom of enterprise, but with protectionist policies for the locals. I want to reduce taxes for merchants, legalize the shadow economy. Alright, create a corporation, expand my authority beyond Junktown. What you say? Pretty darn good agenda as I see it. Well, probably for your business. And tell her you're going to run for office yourself. Which is apparently a thing. Let's discuss something else. Alright. Nothing about the election or agenda.
Come back again.
Bethany Mortensen, the bar owner in Junktown, told you about the upcoming elections. She plans to participate and become mayor of Junktown. Time to choose. As in an election or side with one of the candidates.
Black wingers for Kurt! Black wingers for Kurt!
Now it's starting to get bored.
How real policy gets made.
Alright, Kurt Spengler, you'll take a lot of shit on this job, but you don't seem to be bothered. Wear it with pride. Let's discuss the mayoral election. I'm all ears. Tell us your political agenda. My agenda is simple and topical. This crappy Junktown must be even safer and thus less crappy. We're going to improve pass control, build a wall, raise investments from the city. Admit it, there's no sense buying into a place that could be burned down by bandits at any time. Therefore, safety first. Offer your help with the election. Tell him you're going to run for major. Offer to change the subject. Alright. Let's not make a decision right now.
Spangler is our man.
Good luck.
Black wingers for Kurt! Black wingers for Kurt!
Alright then. Let's think about who to support. Now let's get to the council meeting. We were advised to do this first thing, but I got the impression that it was some kind of point of no return. But since there's not much else to do, let's get to the meeting. Maybe talk with the other attendees first. Karma, the Reverend, Don Spencer, Florentine Luckgoo, Chad Wilson, and Sapal Singh.
Ishtwani notices you.
You. I still don't understand why Henrietta trusts you. Am I the only one who finds it odd they've given you so much authority?
Karma looks lost. She looks like she wants a computer to hide behind.
So, tell me more about Carmine Heights.
The white narrows her eyes.
A pointless question. Information about the Republic is publicly accessible. Are you saying you neglected to review said information before coming here? How are you supposed to participate in the meeting? That's just irresponsible.
She replies with obvious effort.
Carmine Heights was founded by people who disagreed with the committee's policies. It's a democratic republic with a parliamentary government. In fact, it's a community of engineers, programmers, and scientists. We have our share of disagreements, but our form of government lets us settle them effectively.
Right. It's probably better than the committee, which apparently is a totalitarian regime.
Santiago grabs your shoulders.
Ah, we meet again. My favorite parishioner. I'm joking, of course. I love all of my flock equally. Glad to see you here.
We'd like to learn more about the church.
The Reverend's smile widens.
I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. The church is its people. We're a big family, and the bigger the family, the stronger we are. See it as an invitation. I want you to join us. You won't be disappointed, I promise.
All right.
Don Spencer nods in a dignified way, clenching his cigar in his teeth.
Hi. You're not some simple committee lackey.
His expression remains indifferent, though his gaze reveals a glimpse of interest.
Tell us more about the Phalanx.
The ambassador chews his cigar and gazes at you through the smoke.
We're soldiers, entrepreneurs. Our commanding officer is Mr. Hieronymus Zemeckis. If you happen to visit our base, see him and pay your respects.
Well, at the moment we do not have a very good reputation with Phalanx. I think it's the only negative reputation. And Sabal Singh, Chad Wilson, maybe just guards or something like that. You see a man with an elegant moustache wearing a colorful turban. Despite his small stature, you find him impressive somehow.
I'm listening.
You must be that employee with a capital E I've been hearing so much about lately. Well, let's get acquainted. My name is Saban, apparently, and not Sabal Singh. I'm the head of the Kshatriya. So, Saban, tell us more about the Kshatriya. It is an elite division of Blackwing, responsible for the security of objects and people of special importance, as well as for all special operations. Each Kshatriya receives enhanced mental and physical training to increase their resistance to psi attacks. Although we're named after a Hindu warrior caste, and I myself am a Sikh, we're not a religious order. A soldier is free to believe what he wants, as long as it doesn't interfere with their service. Our most important tenets are loyalty, tenacity, discipline, and competence. Can we become a Kshatriya? He smiles and shakes his head. You're not Blackwing, and even if you pass the rigorous selection process, endured months of hard training, passed all the tests, and were officially enlisted as a full-fledged Kshatriya, you would end up under the heel of the new committee, another one of Nakamura's helpless pawn, a dubious honor at best. So I bet he doesn't think much about the new committee. It's a rusty boss racing full tilt towards a sheer drop. The fools and frauds inside fighting for the wheel. Why do you continue to work in the new committee if you don't like it here? Duty for me and my people. This is not merely a word. And what about your opinion of Nakamura? A complicated person, not without virtue or even courage, but under the flag of fighting for good. She unfortunately makes a habit of manipulating people, including you. My opinion, because of that you shouldn't have anything to do with her. I'm certain besides that no good will come out of your dalliance with Maelstrom. Ask if he is afraid you might repeat his words to Nakamura. Why do you think that? People say we don't belong in the dome. I say the dome doesn't belong here. Its so-called anomalies are alien to our world, destructive to body and mind, and sometimes the fabric of reality itself. And Maelstrom is the most powerful anomaly of all. To rely on a unnatural, unpredictable, and inherently anti-human force for the salvation of humanity is not just irresponsible, it's gravely dangerous. What about your exotic looks? I can't say I'm surprised at your question. I'm a Sikh. The turban is a part of the Sikh tradition. I always wear it. As with my dagger. Tell us about Sikhism. Well, alright then. Tell us about it. Your curiosity is praiseworthy, but you do better to read an encyclopedia for more details. Long and short of it is this: we believe in God, a common sense, mutual aid, and actively combating injustice with lethal force if necessary. Right. Farewell, Sabal.
See you later.
Or Saban. What about Chad? Wilson?
Well,
He examines you with cold, professional eyes. Stick to the point when speaking with Miss Nakamura. Her time is precious.
Scram.
This will be another guard, I suppose.
Oh, what do you want?
No sudden moves. He looks at us suspiciously.
I hope we won't see you again.
Well, I'm here for the meeting, so let's start the council meeting.
Nakamura clicks her pen impatiently.
Are you done with your tasks yet? Let's begin the meeting.
Right, we're ready for the meeting.
Nakamura stands at the head of the table, leaning with her knuckles on the tabletop, and looks the office over. Once everyone is quietly seated, she nods her satisfaction.
Let's begin.
Nakamura is the first to take the floor.
Thank you for coming, everyone. You already know why we're here. Congratulations. The emulator project developed and launched by new committee researchers have yielded fruit and dramatically changed the Maelstrom situation.
Ishtwani taps the table with one fingernail.
You're intentionally distorting the facts. It's true the project was developed by the new committee, but it would never have launched without Carmine Heights.
The chairwoman reluctantly nods.
Perhaps. But you must agree that both our cooperation and the project's success were made possible by the new committee's oversight and control of the process.
Controlling things is right up your alley. That you can do.
Audrey Melville replies mockingly.
Right, she is on video call, apparently.
Kimiko continues.
You may disagree with the new committee's role in these matters, but our system for selecting test subjects did lead us to the individual, whose unique peculiarities allowed us to make the emulator a truly functioning system.
Nakamura points at you.
Let me introduce our employee.
Everyone's heads swivel in your direction.
Right, let's check the possible answers. Introduce yourself. We're happy to work for the common good. We're happy to help. But you want neither the committee nor anyone else to benefit from it. We really don't care as long as we get paid. We only agreed to participate in order to save people, not help someone's political career. We have personal interest in the emulator. You don't care what happens to the others. Right, I was expecting or hoping to find something related to science. But there isn't, so let's go for the common good.
This most neutral and vague answer seems to satisfy everyone. Even Kimiko nods graciously. The chairwoman raises a hand.
Let's proceed. Maelstrom has shrunk and retreated to the center of the dome. It is, however, too early to claim victory, so the emulator project will advance to phase 2. Its purpose is to obtain complete control over Maelstrom and understand whether the entity can either be switched off or somehow used to our advantage.
Nakamura looks around the room until her gaze rests on you.
Each and every one of you, including this employee, is here because you are still useful to this project.
Karma, who's been silent for a long while, abruptly stands from her seat.
You intentionally highlighted the employee's abilities.
Ishtwani jabs a finger in your direction.
I'm still skeptical about this one participating in the project. But if their participation is strictly necessary, I think it's only fair to insist they be used for the emulator's needs only. Will you guarantee this before the council?
Nakamura's bionic eye twitches, its diaphragm contracting with a soft rattle. Kimiko raises her hand again, indicating she's ready to speak.
A good point. I understand the importance of maintaining parity. I also understand that any of us could manipulate the project's needs in their party's favor. I cannot prevent this. Therefore, every party has a right to benefit from this employee's help.
Nakamura looks at you expectantly.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to agree. It's for the good of the project.
We have to agree with what exactly? Maintaining parity. Every party has the right to benefit from this employee's help, from our help. Sounds fair enough. I don't care. Agree with the conditions. We can refuse to take part in such games. We have no interest in cheap politics. Or we'll act in our own best interest and help the others as you see fit. Alright, sounds fair enough, I guess.
The chairwoman smiles coldly.
All right.
Kimiko looks around the room once again.
I believe we're in agreement about future cooperation. This next question I wish to address to each party separately.
Nakamura looks at Dawn.
Spencer.
Aye.
He says curtly, puffing on his cigar.
The picnic agrees.
Audrey interjects cheerfully.
Santiago.
The chairwoman nods at the churchman. The Reverend rests a hand on his chest, smiling.
Would I throw a wrench in our alliance? I hope my eye will help save all mankind under the dome.
Karma thrums on the table with her fingernails.
You left me for last, I see. On behalf of Carmine Heights, I vote aye as long as the treaty terms are not violated.
Nakamura rests her arms by her sides and performs a curt bow.
Then I thank you for your participation. This meeting is adjourned. And you, employee, please see Henrietta Russo for further instructions.
Alright. New main quest, staying connected. You took part in the meeting of the council. Now we need to return to Henrietta and discuss further plans. That may be another information dump with a laundry list of things to do. Several reputation changes. You attended a meeting of the council. Return to the emulator and find out what to do next. Alright. Let's do that. And we probably need to think about the faction we want to join. Carmine Heights sounds like something a scientist would join.
Russo is clutching a sheaf of papers in her hands. Looks like she started her calculations.
Hi. How was the council meeting? Come on, tell me.
It was nice to feel like the most important person in the room. We were uncomfortable with everyone studying us. It was boring, you expected more. And those are all the options. Well, we were probably uncomfortable with everyone studying us.
Russo nods her understanding.
I can imagine. They try to project this tough guy image and act like you'd be lost without them. But in reality, it's the other way around. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about the telemetry and what we're going to do next.
Russo waves a sheaf of paper in the air.
To make it short, I deciphered the telemetry and got some interesting results. Maelstrom has shrunk and reduced its activity, not because you made it do so. No. It's trying to protect itself. It actually moved out of the emulator's area of effect by reducing its own size. That doesn't mean we're safer at all. Probably the opposite.
Alright.
Henrietta makes a strange gesture, as if turning a screwdriver.
Think of a coil spring. I can compress it, squeeze it down smaller, but the energy it contains increases. That's why we should move to the second phase. Are you listening to me? Or is there something else you want to discuss beforehand?
Well, we're ready for further instructions.
Russo slaps the papers on the table enthusiastically.
Great. Our first task is to force the connection to Maelstrom. Then it will have nowhere to escape, and we'll have total control.
Henrietta pulls a blurry picture of a device from a pile of papers.
This is a Maelstrom beacon. A research team from Carmine Heights has been working a long time on the problem of a direct link with Maelstrom. If they give us at least 3 of those devices, we'll be able to establish a true communication link between the emulator and Maelstrom.
She makes a broad circle of her arms.
Look, this is the dome. We'll place one beacon in Magellan's parking lot, another at the highest point, the viewpoint at Nashville. And the third one should be taken to a very specific point close to Maelstrom, to avoid signal overlap.
Russo stares up at the ceiling.
Things are quite complicated with the third beacon. First, the installation point will be flooded with Maelstrom radiation. An unbearable level even for you. But you can endure it with a special implant you can get from the church. Second, we don't know how to get there. We no longer have up-to-date maps of the area. I'm afraid you'll have to interrogate a fop or two for directions.
Alright.
She fingers the picture of the beacon thoughtfully.
Those things also wear out after contact with an anomaly. That's another problem you'll have to deal with.
So the implant wears out. Or something like that, right? Suggests there might be a type of relic that can reduce the wear down rate. Or the beacon wears out. before the incident, you found a special device at picnic called an Anomaly Protector.
Henrietta punches you lightly on the shoulder.
Brilliant, Einstein. We need 3 of them. So if you saw one in picnic, look there first. As soon as the 3rd beacon is installed, you'll return to the emulator and eliminate Maelstrom's radiation in the zones covered by the beacons. I need some additional equipment delivered to the 3rd beacon. So, would you please procure a heavy-duty truck from the Phalanx and get Nakamura to fund the expedition? Only the new committee can afford these expenses. Phew, that's all. I am exhausted again.
Russo sits down and stretches out her legs, displaying bright orange socks.
Say there was too much information and you need to clarify something. She's got cool socks and leave.
Henrietta stretches until her back pops.
Ask away.
Where to procure the heavy trucks?
Russo points at her communicator screen.
At the Phalanx camp. They have the kind of vehicles we need, and Zemeckis' men are the only ones who can do the maintenance. They've got a warehouse full of everything.
And where to find the Maelstrom beacons? At picnic, I guess.
Henrietta draws an invisible line on her Kairos screen.
The beacons are Johann Reisner's invention. He's from Carmine Heights. That's where you'll find them.
Right, the Anomaly Protectors were in picnic.
Henrietta looks confused.
In the picnic neutral zone. It was your idea, wasn't it?
And the implant from the church.
Russo looks at you apprehensively.
Am I missing something, or do you just not listen when I talk? You can get an implant in the church. Just don't let them give you a snow job.
And the 3rd beacon was near Maelstrom. Let's just tick all the boxes.
Russo pauses to study the map on her handheld.
I wish I knew. It should be around here, according to the calculations. But it seems like only the fops know how to get there.
Ask her what to do after the relics are found, the implant acquired, and the beacons placed.
Henrietta points her thumb at the door.
Then you go to Nakamura and request funds to build a camp. Don't ask why we have to save the world and beg for money all the time. That seems to be the fate of all scientists.
Russo fakes a yawn.
All right, come on, Captain Buzzkill. Spit it out.
Well, alright then, move away for now. Let's take a look at the quest log. Let's see. After your return to the emulator, the plan became somewhat clearer. In order to suppress Maelstrom's resistance, you will have to contact it again, having built a special communication system. To do this, you need to get 3 Maelstrom beacons in Carmine Heights and improve them with the help of Picnic Neutral Zone. They have schematics of the so-called Anomaly Protector, which will keep the beacons from the destructive radiation of Maelstrom. The beacons will have to be installed in Magellan's parking lot, the Nashville observation deck, and in the camp of the first settlers. The coordination of the camp have been lost. The coordinates of the camp have been lost, but the FOBs know its location. To install the last beacon, you will need a special protective implant, which is at the disposal of the Maelstrom Church. After the preparatory work is completed, you will need to organize an expedition to the ruins of the Concord. It will be funded by the new committee, and special heavy vehicles will be provided by Phalanx or the White Lines Caravan Company. As an alternative, sending a research team to the ruins of the Concord would be very expensive. Such expenses can be covered only by the new committee. A special implant will protect you from Maelstrom's destructive radiation, can only be found in the temple. where the adherents of the Church of Maelstrom have taken residence. They say the phalanx has everything, even large trucks, which the emulator scientists will need to be able to deliver the equipment to the ruins of Concord. So that's again a rather large shopping list. Details about where to install the beacons. The installation of Maelstrom beacons promises to be challenging. In order for the plan to work, all significant political forces under the dome will have to be involved in its execution. Naturally, you need the beacons themselves. You can get them in Carmine Heights. The camp of the first settlers, where you need to install one of the beacons, is located in an area with harsh anomalous radiation. To deal with that radiation, we need the implant. The camp of the first settlers is also considered one of the most iconic places, but few of the current inhabitants of the dome know how to get there. The path to the camp is probably known to the fobs that are not impacted by the radiation of the Maelstrom. Maelstrom radiation is detrimental to everything, including the beacons. So anomaly protectors needed. The scientists supporting your mission will need a lot of expensive equipment and resources to build a camp near the ruins of Concord. And the new committee is able to cover such expenses. But it will hardly help you for nothing. After the beacons are installed and communication with the Maelstrom is established, several heavy-duty vehicles capable of quickly delivering scientists and equipment to the ruins of Concord will be required. And only Phalanx and the White Lines Caravan Company are in possession of such trucks. Right, so a lot to do and I don't really know where to start. Maybe in one of the camps, one of the headquarters, Carmine Heights. It's a huge trip, so it would help if we got some transportation. Other than just walking. Right. Need to think about what to do next. For now, I'll make a cut here. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.